Hi everybody, this is Mike, and today we're going to talk about the July position report. This is the last position report of the 2022 crop year, and we've really ended the crop year within people's expectations of what July was going to be. So shipments for the month were up 10%, really led by the export markets, which were up about 15%. The domestic market for the month of July was about flat. And this was kind of where people thought it was going to be. We all thought, last year's July number of about 168 million pounds was extremely low. And this year, after that objective estimate came out, I think a lot of people started getting into the market and trying to sell product for nearby positions, kind of bolstering these July shipping numbers. So maybe what we should do is now kind of review the 2022 marketing campaign and kind of ups and downs and kind of where we ended up. So the U.S. domestic market for the 2022 crop year was down 6%. Western Europe was down 10%. I think a lot of us can attribute those decreases in consumption primarily to the kind of the arbitrage between what the prices of almonds are in California and what the prices are in the retail market. I think for this last year, we've seen quite a big disparity between where we're selling it and where the retail market is selling. So that may have throttled back some demand quite a bit. China for the year was up 13%, and they really came into this crop year, this crop marketing campaign, almost in the middle of it as they came out of COVID, and they really came back with a vengeance, and we saw quite a bit of demand from the Chinese. The Middle East was up 9%. They were relatively similar timing to the Chinese. They had really good shipments kind of January, February, March, and they've kind of gone away since then. India for the year is down 6%. I think that can be attributed to kind of California's lack of willingness to sell in-shell towards the end of the crop year, where there was an idea that there wasn't enough supply to meet the demand for their Diwali season. I think that hypothesis has kind of proved to be somewhat incorrect. We've seen that in-shell price really come off in the last 30 days or so, as California's really been incentivized to just move this inventory out. I think the one destination that we don't really talk about very much is North Africa. So North Africa for the year finished up about 56% higher than they had the year before. Some of that seems to be attributed to a free trade deal or a lowering of tariffs into Morocco. It used to, I think, be about 100% of the value of the cargo was the tariff, and I think that's now dropped to now 20%. So they took about 94 million pounds, which is a pretty good achievement. So I think we're happy with what we're seeing there. So maybe we should talk about now kind of what we're seeing in the market today and kind of where we're headed. So the price of almonds has really been kind of eroding since the objective estimate at 2.6. We have seen decent action in the market. There's been liquidity both on the old crop, which is the 22, as well as the 23 crop. 23 crop sales at the moment, we've sold about 204 million pounds of the anticipated 23 supply. And a lot of that's been into India. So India has been hungry for some new crop in-shell, and there's been some business done in Europe as well as the U.S. domestic market. What we really haven't seen from the market so far is a really active China or an active Middle East. I think that this position report that we've seen today really is neutral. And I think that it should encourage stability in prices rather than further eroding of prices. And if we can hold a stable price in California, I think that will encourage the Chinese and the Middle East to start to participate more on the remainder inventory of the 22 crop, as well as starting to build a position in the 23 crop marketing campaign. Harvest-wise, we've started to shake our first field about 2 days ago. It's been relatively stressed. It's a little bit of an older orchard. We've also received our first load at the Huller, again, a stressed orchard from the Tulare area. Early indications are we're seeing higher levels of insect pressure than we had maybe originally expected. But really, we're not going to start shaking our good orchards probably for another 2 weeks. So that puts us probably 2 to almost 3 weeks behind where we normally would be at this time of the year. So that kind of wraps up what we've seen, kind of where we're headed. As harvest develops, we'll continue to keep you posted. So thank you. This has been Mike.